Good evening, Royal Sussex.
just only Baron. Yeah. Good evening, Baron.
You see, this is what happens when you don't sleep. You're thinking that you are Royal Sussex. That's exactly what just happened. Oh my God. How do I usually start? Sussex
Well,
Squad,
the
Sussex
first thing
Squad
is,
World.
just so everyone is very clear, all of us are like crazy, crazy sick.
Yes, we are.
So just forgive us if we're punch drunk.
Sussex Squad World, Sussex Squad Nation. Yes, it is snowing outside. And as I cannot really speak, it's been a long night, a long day because World Sussex kept me up all night with the marathon. Yes, I was on. Yes, I was listening. I just couldn't talk. I got really, really, really shy. I didn't say a word. I don't know why I got so shy.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say something. I wanted to be a part of the conversation, but I was really enjoying it. Oh, and I stayed throughout the whole thing, actually. It was so good. But anyway,
There you go. Baron's here, by the way.
Is it?
And he's excited.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. When I tell you I love it, it was good. It was so good.
It looks like it's cold down by Church Nelly, too. And by the way, happy 5 months, Church Nelly, in the
That's right.
this insane asylum with all of us.
And thank you so much.
But what you mentioned this a couple times now, but how was this marathon? What was it all about? What even happened?
I'll say this. Do you know that movie, The Fighting Club?
The Fight Club?
The Fight Club.
What's the first rule of Fight Club?
It's the first rule of the Fight Club. You don't talk about the Fight Club and what happened. But what I can tell you, it was a lot of smart people, extremely smart. And the brilliance of Royal Sussex was in full display. And this man, it's kind of like almost scary to know that, you know what, you're so connected with someone that almost everything that they like or they know of or about, at least things that he share, I'm interested in them because I've done the same research, so to speak. So it was so good. It was so good. Yeah, but obviously I will not discuss what we talk about. I'm not going to say who was there. You just need to be a member. Go be a member of Royal Sussex if you want to know what goes on. But it was very smart conversation, extremely, really smart conversation.
Well, he always does such a great job.
Very fulfilling and very, very nice. I think what was incredible about it is that sense of community. It feels like it was just friends having conversation. It didn't feel. It feels like you know these people, and you. It just felt like I don't know. It's like you call couple friends and you just chatting away and then you forget the time is passing by. It's like go to bed and then half hour we still have talking. Well, they were talking. I wasn't. But yes, it was. Yes, I was so happy in some ways being part of it.
So you're saying that Baron did another multi-hour marathon, had a bunch of really smart people talking, did an incredible show, and then you've got us coming on here late and sick.
Well,
it seems like you're setting us up right now.
I did hear it. Well, they say they were going to be sleeping most of the day, and he was like wishing that we'll come out now. And as you know, I mean, I was literally listening to his podcast last night, and then I was just about to turn off, and I'm like, live? I'm like, what's going on? And I click on, and I'm like, oh, I am in trouble. And so before I know it, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I think we were done like around 9. I think so.
That's pretty intense. And also, I will say,
good.
Thank you so much to Royal Sussex for the super sticker. You are amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. But anyway, so it's snowing outside.
It is. It's
tons of snow.
Up.
And it's going to get ready to be very, very cold. So everywhere.
Yeah, so we got our sickness in advance of the
yes,
of the
you're
snowstorm.
sick, Charlie's sick, and oh my God, everybody's
Everyone's
coughing.
listening into the. Who are these random people talking on the show? Their voices sound completely different.
Yes,
Yeah, that is the truth.
Oh my God. But we need to get started. God knows I don't know how long we're going to be on tonight. I don't think we're going to have like a big show like we normally, who knows? Because we're not going to normally we'll do our words, but we will be having conversation with you all and talking what's in our mind because, love is being under attack. Our fave is just like, the effect of Harry and Meghan, it continue. People still, like the cash machine. So let's get in with the report.
Church
Charles.
Nelly. Speaking of which, Church Nelly, I hope that your wig frostbite clears up.
That she said. You see what else she shares? The Wixicles, the moonshine jug is frozen, and the Depends are also frozen.
You're just having a rough time all the way through. My goodness. So we need to get you a heater. So jumping into it for the Church Nelly report. Well, the frenzy over Harry and Meghan's support and compassion for the LA fire victims has not slowed down at all. In fact, it seems that if anything, it's actually picked up and become more vitriolic. And it is truly a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation. And I'd like to highlight basically three things that kind of happened over the last week. Excuse me. So first is actually the World Kitchen founder, Jose Andres, came out in support of the Sussexes, saying himself that actually they show up, which is obviously their mantra, right? So they show up, which is absolutely true, and being very, very appreciative. And then also, excuse me, second is that actually Meghan also visited the
You can barely speak.
Yeah, well, here I am. The Meghan visited the Altadena Girls Fire Recovery, which was founded by a 14-year-old girl named named Avery Meghan. So she was actually spotted there just dropping off, and actually her as well as a lot of other people from Archwell as well. So again, just, another example. Another example
good. Yes.
of just them doing what they need to do, trying to be very, very understated. And then really, I think kind of what sets the tone in terms of how they were doing it, because that's really what matters, right? It's not necessarily just what you do all the time, but the context and the reasons why you do it. And I think people did a really good job because they struck the tone and reported that Harry and Meghan took a very discreet approach to their sites visits, prioritizing meaningful exchanges. They did not bring camera crews, unlike what was reported like 1,000 different times,
Right.
and instead focus on directly supporting the communities and the ongoing relief efforts.
When it comes to they did not bring, sort of, camera crew with them. We're gonna talk about that because it just not only it doesn't make any sense, but we're going to talk about it. I'll have something to say about that later.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it makes sense if you're looking at it from a different angle, but
I think,
depending on what your objectives are.
I think once I said what I'm gonna say, it's gonna make sense to everyone.
Okay.
And so hopefully the media is all listening.
There you go. Okay. So, and on another note, Kate, what's her name? Kate.
Yes.
Yes, that lady. What was it? Yeah. Anyway, just happened to schedule a visit to a cancer center the day that Meghan's show was supposed to drop.
You're really, really, really sick. You're not feeling well. Just don't get us into trouble.
Well, I'm here with my mask on. What do you want?
Starting tomorrow, we're going to different worlds, so, as we know it. So don't get us into any trouble.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And while she was there, she gave out some advice to those currently battling cancer, which was drink lots of water and go get some sun. Now, if you know anything or anybody who actually had cancer treatment, and especially if you yourself actually went under cancer treatment, then you would definitely know that, excuse me, you definitely know that one of the things they tell you is to actually avoid direct sunlight.
Obviously, we are no medical expert, but as someone that, have lost so many people and knows people that will go through this, that's usually the first thing that, you hear them talk about, that they cannot be in the sun. So they need to wear like big hats and stuff like that. And I also think it's easy to get burned as well too, I think. Not so sure. Now, obviously, we
Yeah.
know medical expert, but it's probably one of the things that so constantly people are saying.
For sure. And, and it's definitely a very, very common treatment advice is to stay out of the sun.
But what I did not understand again, I hate it. Well, not using the word hate, but I don't like doing this. Sort of, speak about, her. You know, she. It seems like she just coming back out announced that the fact that she's in remission. I thought that she had a video. This, sort of what everyone was calling, Massengale video, so to speak, that it was her announcing that she was cancer free, I think.
Yeah.
But now she's like, I just, but most people said, of course we know what was about because it was scheduled, the day that our Duchess was supposed to release her show.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You know how we do sound effects depending on the person?
Correct.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Crickets.
Yes. So that would maybe the one for what's her name? What do you think?
So, but anyway, I just, the whole thing, it's so confusing. I don't really understand it. I don't understand the messaging. I don't understand the PR. I don't understand because it's not making them look really good. It just feel like they are living in a bubble and sort of, I don't know who's advising them, or maybe they just don't care. I don't know, but it just feels weird.
Yeah. It seems that, it seems that they may be doing it something that they want to do as opposed to what actually may be the
because
best
this
thing
is
to do.
something very serious, and I think for anybody who been through any type of illness, it's like moment that people really sort of want to embrace you and want to support you, and if you come through, people want to know how, what did you do different, sort of encouragement. And so I just don't understand why it feels the way it feels. That's what I will say. Because I don't understand the PR around it. I don't understand what's going on exactly with her. I don't understand I do. Well, I understand that you have to look good and preppy and all that, but I didn't understand why she did not have a mask. Not only if you're going to be in a clinic to protect the folks that are obviously going through treatment, but as well protecting yourself. I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. Again, this is speaking from someone that who literally from the day that my best friend, Stevie, that I've lost, from the first day they tell him that he was diagnosed. I was with him in a hospital, going through treatment with him, pretty much like every week, and I was probably the last person that he calls, not knowing that 2 days later he will be gone. Called and said, "I need you to get here right now." Went to his house, and we had a good time. We were talking about how we met. We were talking about the Bible. We talking about sort of, and what was important to him. And if he didn't make it, of course, I'm like, "What do you mean? You're stage 1. You're going to make it. It's going to be okay." And just 2 days later, again, he was gone. So it's a very touchy subject for me when it comes to that, and I don't like people make
Light of it? Yeah.
light of it because it's too. And I lost my aunt very recently, 6 months ago. Has it been 6 months already? It
No,
could
not
be.
even. It was
That
November.
was in July. No, she left us
yeah.
in July. So it's going to be six
July, really?
months since I've lost her again. It's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say on the subject of the timing of it, and to your question of who's what is the thought behind it? It seems strange, if nothing else. In best case scenario, it seems strange. There's something that's ringing in my ear from the last service when we played Prince Harry's words himself, and it was the part of Spare where he was talking about his father, now King Charles, making implications that there wasn't enough money to pay for Meghan. And in explaining that, the context leading up to that conversation, Prince Harry relates in the book that the exact details of that contract between the members of the family and the head of the family, being the king or queen at the time, that you show up for the monarch where they want you. When you're in the royal family, you show up for the monarch when they tell you to do something. You show up for you do X, Y, Z. You say these things. You dress a certain way. All of the things you are following the rules of what's set from the top, and in response, you get taken care of. Like that's the contract that Harry explained, and why it was so weird that it was saying we're not going to be able to pay for your wife. But it just makes you think about Kate's schedule and how that actually gets set, and where was the scheduling actually taking place that made that her visit to that place be on that day.
Yeah, but let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing, because it's hard to come, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. What was clear to many of us is it's very clear that, that kind of PR around the same time, when, sort of our Duchess here, was supposed to debut her show. And there's many people that said, I don't understand why they will even do something like that, because really, the Sussexes, they get all the medias, to be honest. So really, maybe they were just trying to block the media from, the island, so to speak, not to report, on Harry and Meghan, because they're certainly not getting, the international media. So it has to do maybe sort of just for home. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Keeping up appearances.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the last piece in this particular segment of the show is finally a piece of good news, is that Tyler Perry's new film on Netflix called 6888 is great. We've actually had a chance to watch it. And it's done so well, in fact, it actually boosted his other films on Netflix 45%.
I know. I saw that Royal Sussex reported on that.
Of course he did, because Barron knows everything.
Yes, he does.
He literally covers. It's better than Channel 5, Barron.
I tell you. I don't think I could do this job without him.
I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
Definitely thank you for the... it's all thanks to the squaddies. So that's basically the end of Church Nelly.
Okay.
So we're jumping into Connie Bomber.
Yes.
Should anyone else like to have anything else that they'd like to add? It's a little bit late over there in Swiss time, so she's not joined us yet. But we understand.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, obviously, prayers for the community, for our mental health, and the strength to overcome any adversities that happen to be about. And then also, specifically, those in L.A. and who've been hit very hard with this fire. It is incredible. Some of the imagery that you see, it is just absolutely incredible.
It's and also, I mean, actually now we are sort of getting some report on the Black communities over there, getting a little bit more, but yeah, it's very sad.
Very sad.
It's very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
The next little piece here is that the TikTok saga continues.
Right.
So depending on where who you are, actually you'll get different messages. So we've definitely seen more than one of these things come around.
Yeah.
But also, after less than 14 hours, is actually already back on air. So,
because it went off last night.
It went off last night and is already back on, while the administration is working.
Although we are not in TikTok, though, just to say, we do enjoy the content coming out TikTok, but we ourselves, or I am, not you guys, because you guys are too busy, with tech stuff. So. But I don't, sort of, I'm not on TikTok, but it's there's some really incredible content does come out of TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure you're all familiar with the squatty called Dre.
Yeah. First of all, is there something? What did they put down? Did they
Ooh.
write some? What was the message from TikTok?
Oh, what was what they actually said?
Hmm.
Yeah, just a moment, please.
And while he brings it up, I would just give a special shout out. Thank you, Sharon Augustine, for the super sticker. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sharon. So the first says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means that you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned.
Hmm.
So that is the first.
And then, depending what part of the town that you're in, you get a different message.
Well,
from
just
what I
depending on
understand.
depending on who
Yeah.
you are and the phone you happen to have and what they know about you.
No, somebody said it's different. Depending on the town where you're in.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Geographic? I'm not sure. Okay. Important update from TikTok. This is the second message. We regret that the U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and will force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned.
But the good news is they're back on. Right? That's wonderful. Okay.
So that's
yes.
what that is.
So with Dre.
With Dre. So I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Dre just because he has quite a good show. And he's going through some hard times at the moment. He got laid off from his job, and he's put up a GoFundMe page. So we would definitely like you guys to go check it out.
Yeah, just go to his channel and get the info. I was watching him, and it was difficult just listening to him. But he seems like he's already on his way, though, because I think he's looking to raise $3,000 or something like that. But I think he's already close to 15, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, so he needs our support.
Well, keep it coming, folks.
Yeah.
And then we've already talked about this, but
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we already talked about the fact that we're sick.
yes,
We've told you.
exactly. So
Everybody's sick. And
So-
please don't. Yeah.
that's why the mask is on. So, and we already talked about the marathon last night with Royal Sussex. And just to reiterate, I have absolutely no idea where this man gets his energy.
Why not?
Or his health.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good. Actually, people was, he probably would have stayed even longer because, it was like, no, I think you need to go sleep. Yeah, no, but it was so good. It was so good. It just feel like conversations with friends.
Yeah.
Close friends. Yeah.
Yep. It's like our family right now on chat with us. It's all
Yes,
it's
exactly.
all super tight.
Exactly.
Yep. And Church Nellie says her Ben Gay is frozen. So, so definitely, yes. So you definitely need to go sort that out. And then finally, for Connie Bomber, is that for those in the Northeast and really kind of throughout the country, please be careful because it's about to get super, super cold in this upcoming week. Around us, it's going to be like -1, I think,
Yeah.
later on in the week. So please check on your neighbors. Please check on the elderly. Please take care of yourself.
That's right.
Get your supplies straight.
Make sure you
And
have
don't.
everything. And it's also too, in case we lose power, make sure you have, your batteries and things that you need.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just take care of yourself.
That's right.
Okay, I'm done. My voice is done.
Yes. Good. What about you, George?
The County Bomber Report? No, that's
That's nothing. So what are we going to talk about?
well.
Because we are changing our format because nobody wanted to do any type of research. So what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about the first thing I think we need to talk about is this idea that everyone it's almost defending our Duchess, saying, oh, well, she didn't bring no camera. She didn't bring no cameras. She didn't have no cameras with her. And the whole time I'm thinking, wait a minute. Unlike most celebrities, including the royals, where there is a need to bring camera along with them just to show people they're actually doing something. Harry and Meghan, our Duchess and Duke, basically, it's a cash cow. They do not need to bring cameras. Cameras follow them. Like, I mean, it's a gold mine if you bump into them. So they would not need to even ask anyone to come along with them. Even if it was just like a snapshot coming from someone that they met, they put online, it just go viral. So they don't need, so it was like, no, they don't need to show what they're doing. The truth of the matter is that they are the most popular people in the world. Everybody loves them. Everybody want to take pictures. Everybody want to meet them. So they don't really need a camera. Camera actually needs them because they are paying a lot of people's bills. So I just didn't really get the whole that where they didn't bring their because as a matter of fact, the camera was around and didn't even notice that they were there. And when they did, it was all about them. So I don't really, really, really get where this was coming from. And that woman, that's another woman, which I don't know who she is. It's incredible until her open her mouth went after our Duchess. I literally have no idea who she is. I still don't know who she is. It's, I don't know who she is. It's a white lady I know with curly hair. That's all. And who had something to say. And she seems to be a husband. And then all of a sudden, everybody aware of her just for mention Harry and Meghan. Isn't that incredible? So just all you need to do to have a comeback is just say Harry and Meghan. That's all you got to do to have a comeback. Because literally, I still don't know who she is. I don't know, is she from there? Does she live there? Why does she have anything to say at all about people that she didn't know? And if you were going to, which I'm not going to say what she said, because we need to be done with that. But the hypocrisy about it, the fact that, there was tons of other celebrities there, and you're not going to say anything about them, why would she not want to come out? This is her home. This is where she grew up. This is where she went to school. She have done many protests there. She show up when even in COVID time. I mean, this is not new to her. It's like, do your research. So that's why I know it wasn't really about that at all. They didn't care. This person see an opportunity. If I say something bad about those two, I'm going to get the click, and that might be a comeback for me. And I hope she enjoy that 15 minutes of fame, which was not a 15 minutes, 5 minutes of fame. Because it just did not make any sense at all. You're going to say something that was so inappropriate, so disgusting, so filthy like that about two people that show up to help. Why would you have anything to say? Who cares who they are as long you are here to help? Do you understand what I mean?
You know what it makes me think, honestly? It's maybe it's a bit far out there. Maybe this is just from all of the NyQuil. But in economics, like in economics 101 kind of thing, you study how the stock market works. And the stock market has prices that are supposed to reflect the value of the things that you own in those companies, their actual worth of what they produce. And then sometimes you end up with what they call a bubble, where to overly simplify it, you have the prices in that case may be exceeding the value of what's the underlying assets, and there may be the prices of the stocks themselves are not actually in line with the reality of the true value of the thing. And so there's this disconnect between what you see on the surface, the labeled value of something, and the actual underlying truth. And I wonder if this is a similar case, and maybe it's different in the U.S. and the broader international stage than it maybe is specifically in the UK. But the idea of a reputational bubble, like a narrative bubble, where there's so much because of the amount of coverage that comes out of tabloids about Harry and Meghan. If you don't have any background context going in, you might actually think that there is some truth that a lot of people feeling the way that they do reflected in those headlines. But the underlying truth, the actual reality of what people see and who they experience them to be, who they know them to be, is actually quite different, that they're actually just genuinely good people that are actually working to make the world a better place. That there's this difference between the narrative bubble and the underlying truth. If there's actually people at risk who just say, oh, maybe I can win, maybe I can gain something because I can join this whole group of people that don't like Harry and Meghan, only to find out that no one else feels that way.
Well, this is the thing is, the part is, I mean, Royal Sussex talks about that all the time. It's about sort of, you looked at you don't actually even need to read the article. You could just look at the thumbnails or just, the headlines, and then you form your opinions. And we hear people actually that happen, where they sort of like, hate this person and they have no actually idea why they hate him. Do you understand what I mean? And the thing is, why we are here defending them, it's because that, we want to make sure we put the other side of the story. But what I feel like that started happening, things are getting so out of hand, the hatred's getting so out, and they're becoming very, sort of not careful anymore, where they just keep throwing sort of that at them, because then it started making people, wait a minute, let me go and find out what exactly about this woman, because why would you want to be mad and upset at someone that just show up, just volunteering and doing good, bringing their money, open their wallets, open their home. It just didn't make sense to people. There is stuff that they say that can make you feel like, but once you start going that route, because with that kind of fire, what happened in LA, it's something that should concern the world, because we all see the past couple of years what's been going around, from earthquake to everything else that is happening. And so the world normally, usually, if not all the time, come together in disaster like that. And to see those folks starting putting their energy and try to trashing someone that will actually show up and do good, I didn't think it reflect well on them. They lost the plot, so to speak. And I think it's making everybody, because I've heard, sort of people say, you know what, I didn't know or didn't care. And then all of a sudden doing research and couldn't find. And it's uncovering the truth. And it's all because of what they're actually doing. Because how do you attack someone for just showing up in their hometown? If they did not show up, it would have been a problem. And they did, then you have a problem. Unlike many others, when they go places that goes empty-handed, they open their wallets. And even if they didn't open their wallet, even if they didn't donate, even if they didn't do anything, there is something about disaster. When it happened, you feel the needs that, maybe I can help. Do you understand what I mean? Whether it's a fire in your neighborhood, whether it's an accident, you want to jump quickly, try to help. Is there something that I can do? Many people talk all the time, during 9/11, that, what happened when people sort of, realizing what was going on, people just rushing to help. I mean, that kind of catastrophe, you do not want to sit down at home. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, why would she not? This is what we do. This is what people they do. And then you're gonna attack that. And I think it really backfired on them a lot. The only thing was awful about this is that that lady that who I guess it tweeted that hate piece about them. It's going to become like one of those words that they use on other things when they talk about Harry and Meghan. But really, how do you attack somebody who show up to do good? Even if they didn't bring their wallet, even if they didn't bring any resources at all, just themselves, just to passing food, just to sort of, just make sure is there something that we can do to help. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why making it about them? You guys should be making it about the fire. What did you do for those folks? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I didn't really get it. And then also, to even go as far to sort of say, oh, they brought the camera with them. Two people that will literally do not need to bring camera with them. And that is their problem, because the truth of the matter is that they're crying constantly for not being a part of things, being shut up, and you think that they need camera to come on guys, come on.
Yeah, and while Marjorie Austin added very poignantly says that those people have no shame.
They don't, because Harry and Meghan literally, I mean, we know what PR is, you know what I'm saying. And sometimes you do need to have the camera, whatever, to inspire. And like those two do not need it. They could just a picture. You snap a picture. If you're lucky enough to be in the same room with them and you snap a picture at them, it's almost guaranteed to go viral. They don't need the camera. The camera needs them. Period. I mean, again, my point, that lady who just decided that, to write that hate speech about, nobody know who the heck she was until she mentioned Harry and Meghan. All of a sudden she have a comeback. I don't know whether I don't know who she, and I don't really care to know who she is. But now we know her name. Now we know what she looks like. And it's all thanks to Harry and Meghan. But then she's going to have to live with herself, when she's amongst people to say, oh, I decide to write a hate piece about two people that I don't know, because they decide that, they will come out of their home, their comfort home, to come out and help. Let's see, how people are going to feel about that.
I feel like over these last few services, we've been slowly building a Sussex haiku. So it goes with the addition from today. They don't need the camera. The camera needs them. Suck it up, Buttercup.
But what's interesting is we gotta play this clip because this gentleman is one that was Sussex love him. I was hoping that he would play it, but Claire play him. I saw it as well, and so we need to play that. So let's play that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Harry and Meghan's fault. I mean, yeah, it's definitely Harry and Meghan's fault. I mean, oh, have you seen that Meghan? She's only delayed her Netflix show because she wants all the attention. Nothing to do with the fires. Or, after the fires started, oh, have you seen that Meghan and Harry? Harry and Meghan, they're only hugging people for attention, only because the cameras are there. Why are the cameras there? Why is the Daily Mail there photographing them from a distance? Weirdos. Whereas if it was in the UK and William and Catherine turned up, it'd be like, oh, as you can see, the royal family are being represented, you know, by the next king and queen of the country. And what made me laugh is when Harry and Meghan had said they were letting their friends stay at theirs, it was then, oh, have you seen Harry and Meghan? They're lecturing everyone and opening up their doors, let all their friends stay at theirs. They can't win. Whereas old King Sausage Fingers could marry the woman that he was shagging behind his wife's back. What I love the most, though, is if you go to the Daily Mail's website, if you want to get on your royal news, go to News and Royals and you'll find Meghan Markle above King Charles III. Why is she above the king? Apart from the obvious reason that they want to feed you all that Anyway, it's 2 a.m. Good night.
This is one of Sussex's favorite, one of his favorite. You know, I mean, he was laughing at this guy when I was really stressed out and very, 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 in some ways, depressed, and come out and listening him laughing about that. That brought me back to life. So I thought I would play that for him in case if he didn't see it. So yes, exactly what he's saying. They can't win, but they are winning. They are winning because the following day, she show up again to do good and bring stuff with her. And the next thing that we know, you know, that charity that the girl, you know, created was full with stuff to a point where they have to say, please do not drop any more stuff. That just show you the effect of Harry and Meghan. People are paying their bills, included the haters. But again, I think what's going on, people are hating and they still don't know why they're hating. And some of them do. Some of them do, because I was actually listening to so many different clips and try to figure out, okay, you know, yes, you know, we know, you know, people hate for very, very, for anything. People can hate you for pretty much absolutely nothing. And so I was just trying to listen to people. What would make someone decided to write a hate piece like that? Was it just for fame? Do you really, truly, really have a problem with them? And if you do, where's that problem come from? I remember someone says, I don't even know where I hear that from. Someone said to somebody else that, you know, do you have my cell phone number? The person said no. And then the response said, well, you can't possibly have a problem with me if you don't have my number. If you don't have my problem, you shouldn't have any problem with me. So it's like, you don't know.
Are you quoting Medea?
Was it Medea?
It might have been Medea.
I didn't watch that many, you know, of Medea movies or stuff, but I think I've heard it somewhere. You know, if you don't have my number, then you should not have any problem with me. So I looked at and see these folks who doesn't know Harry and Meghan at all. They still try to find something. And so I want to share with you guys another clip again. So let's play the other clip. Which one?
That's the people. It needs to be called its own disease.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, it truly is. I think there is an illness. That's a part of it. I'm going to explain. There is more, but this one, this one, I think, yeah.
Of all of these horrific, this hatred some people have for Meghan Markle, this visceral rage, I think we can now categorize that as a mental disorder. Put that in the DSM-5, babe, because you're a kookadoodle-doo. We need a name for this. Is it histrionic Markle disorder? Maybe the Meggies? I don't know. Let's workshop it. What I do know is that in the midst of all of these horrific fires consuming Los Angeles, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex physically handing out food and clothes and not making a spectacle of themselves. And the girls are still mad. Look at them showing off as if they really care. As if Meghan Markle wasn't an LA baby. Quite literally born and raised in Los Angeles. This is her hometown. So of course, she's gonna care if it burns. All of the images that we have of Meghan and Harry volunteering are grainy and from long lens cameras, similar to any celebrity that was out in the streets volunteering, like Jennifer Garner. And yet the comments, when it's Meghan, so different. She called the paps on herself, wonder how they got that picture. And those are the nice comments. The mean ones? These women are manic. I am not exaggerating when I say these women dream about her at night. That's the first face they see when they wake up in the morning in their mind's eye, and the last one before they go to bed. It's an obsession, guys. It's a darkness. They're consumed.
Yes. I guess she said the Kellys. We should give it a name.
The Meggies?
Yes. I think it's one part of it. So please talk to me, what are they saying? What are co-hosts saying? I need help because the whole structure of the show, it's very different. And yes. So let's get them to participate. Let's hear what they have to say. Read to me.
Well, co-host, there's been it's great to see a lot of people here who don't always make it to the live. I think maybe the alternate time is worked out in that sense. That includes you, Benjamin Padilla. It's good to see you again. The last thing was actually from Rebecca Arthur saying that she always wondered how these haters sleep. That they never say the truth. If you have to lie to make your point, then you shave a point. I like that. Actually, it's pretty good.
That's right. That's right. But we have all these different categories, of people, especially white women, hating on, specifically really Meghan. And we try to figure out where is it coming from. And I was watching this TikToker who actually explaining the issues white women have with black women. And as soon as she said it herself, it's almost like, wow, this is really what we are been saying. This is what's been going on. And I would love to play this for you guys and to see this is exactly what the Sussex Squad have been saying. This is what we've been talking about, and to actually hear it from white person themselves actually say their issues, their problem, although that was not really about Meghan, but we know that's exactly what is going on, why some of those folks are feeling the way they do when it comes to Meghan. What is truly really their problem? It's just much more than just the hierarchy stuff. There is something deeper rooted into those folks, why they want to hate on some woman who's doing so good, so successful. And so it was quite interesting. So I want to share this with you guys. So let's listen to those two white women explaining themselves, their issues, their problem, with black women. Although they claim to be doing the work and try to sort of, changing their tune, the way they feel. But let's hear it from them. I think it's very important when you hear it from the horse's mouth. Go ahead.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong, but I know I and most women have been told, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet, know your place, be a good girl, don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable, and it makes us start to question ourselves, and people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more, because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
I have a theory about why black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead, even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
So, I need time to digest this because you see what our Duchess been going through, been at her best, do everything right, and yet she keep getting those hates. You see that she's doing something, and the way they've been treating her is though that, she needed to be the help. For me, I think this woman just explained exactly what many of us have been saying. And that is the reason, one of the reasons why we support Meghan. Because we understand we all in some capacity, some shape, like we feel this, we understand it. And it was quite interesting to actually hear it from them. Because it's one thing we are saying it, but it's another when you hear what we all have been saying coming from them.
Exactly. And it's the co-host, the Squires, definitely sharing their feedback on those. And I mean, Church Nelly herself saying, wow, they actually admitted the truth.
That's right.
The one thing. But then an interesting addition from Connie and Julie, who said, I feel like this has been a psyops operation that weaponizes racism. The press finds a racist crack and then exploits it.
That's right.
And also from Lola Love, saying we can expect them to pile on the hate for Meghan within the next few weeks and maybe even into February and March because of Harry's court case.
Oh yeah. It's about to get really, really nasty. But this is what I do know. Harry and Meghan, you can bash them as much as you want. You can do whatever it is that you do. But you're not going to change anything. You're really not. And I do feel like, as they continue doing this stuff that they are doing and not covering what they're supposed to be covering, when they're not talking about, the royals, which I believe that they pay to cover, and they're not really sort of, going at them, and it's going to continue backfiring. I truly, really believe that. And they're going to keep making Harry and Meghan, who are already icons, even more. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, for us, it's all about their safety. We truly, care about them, love them, and we want them to be safe. But it is going to get nasty. For a reason we all know, it's going to get nasty because everyone feels. That's why that woman was, feel the need to come out and write that hate piece. So I don't expect it's going to get better. It's going to get worse. But the problem that they have, you can't find anything on Meghan. And Harry already said everything he needed to say. Well, not everything, because we know that he has 400 pages, left. So they better don't mess with him. You see what I'm saying? So what else you going to say? What else you going to say?
You'll have to resort to saying something crazy like her.
Yeah, because
she eats avocados is killing the planet.
Well,
no,
they say that already. They're gonna find something because every time we think that they can get any nastier, and they have, and they do. Because really, I mean, it's almost like, one of the thing about the Sussex ride, not even just the Sussex ride, like it seems like other people are just like, oh, okay, if Harry and Meghan's out, everybody's waiting, okay, how are they going to portray the other royals and what exactly going, and we usually write, I mean, not usually, we write all the time. Like right now, we're already prepared on the 4th of March, there's something going to come out. We don't know what it is yet, but we can pretty much figure out which way they're going to go. And you also have Invictus coming up. Oh, yeah. Because, they have to make money. And they make money with Harry and Meghan. But to go back to what this white lady say, that, what, we feel like, black people, we are only there to serve them. We are the side character to advise them. It's so demoralizing. It's so insulting. It's so, I don't know. I mean, I do understand where she's coming from, but at the same token, hearing that, even though I know it, I feel some kind of way about it. I appreciate that, she said it, because we talk about that all the time. And I'm trying to understand it, and I don't know if it's something that you cannot really truly understand. But it was good to hear it from them. Actually say it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the initial steps in a long journey, a long but necessary journey.
Absolutely.
In our collective, and I think even Benjamin Padilla put this in a comment just a little bit a while ago, saying that he's beginning to see it now, that it's so much bigger than just Meghan. This is really on a more of a macro and collective level in terms of these conversations, these issues, and it's the same thing. And there's so much that is encapsulated in Harry and Meghan as a couple, as individuals, on so many different planes of how we exist and relate to one another, that they are symbolic and representative of so many macro issues that are sort of unfolding in front of us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see that the fact is that, Jennifer Gardner, who actually done, okay, it's good for her. She come out, she was supporting, she was doing, she's not from LA, she lives in LA, but hey, that becomes her hometown. Hey, she wants to, good on her. But this idea that, what, she was doing probably the same, what Meghan was doing, and then you have absolutely nothing to say. And then you know what I mean? Those kind of things stands out to people. And that's a problem. And then you have the royal over there say to people that, what, sunbathe yourself, drink a lot of water. That part probably is good. And I'm not seeing as many report that we should be seeing to actually tell people, hey, maybe she misspoke. That is not the case. At least nothing that I've seen. I've seen some, sort of, people question what she's saying, but not really sort of going out and said, maybe we should not say this to people. And one of the things that I was listening to, I don't know where, I was listening, maybe it's at Royal Sussex, where she has not come out and sort of apologized for what she may have saying. Maybe she did, I don't know. You understand where I'm going with that? There's so much going on. And there's also that, King Charles, who, from what I understand, for his birthday or whatever's going on, that's opening more of those food bank. And on one hand, good for you because people are hungry, having more food bank, I guess maybe. But on the other hand, it's like, really? Is that where we are right now? I mean, this is England. God, my, like, really? That is the answer? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm glad that, he's doing it because that's one more place that people probably be able to go and get foods. But at the same token, there's a lot more that I think he can be doing. But they're not talking about that. And then you guys are worried and concerned about two hardworking folks over here who decided that they will take their money, their unearned money they work hard for, to help others, and you're going to bash them. Make that make sense for me. And I know at some point, people will come to their senses.
Well, that Marjorie Austin says she says that I think it's going to come to a point where no one in the world is going to believe anything story.
That's right.
Sussexes.
That's right. And I feel like this is where we're heading. If we are not already here.
And again, making it that idea that it's bigger than Harry and Meghan. It's sort of the boy who cried wolf allegory just applied to the media at large. It's like the credibility, not just for the Sussexes, but like credibility generally. And what does that mean if there is a complete lack of trust in media institutions?
The problem is that they are having is that those are two very transparent person. I mean, we're talking about two people who grew up literally very much alike, in the media. Just a click away, you will know everything you need to know about their life story. And they have been stay true to who they are. Doing the thing that they've been doing. And for Meghan particularly, she's been doing that since she was a kid. And I probably will say maybe a lot longer than Harry when Harry started. Because Meghan was protesting since she was 9. And you're looking at, this is exactly the kind of person the royals need on their side to represent them. And said you're going to try to compare them, those two women, but you have absolutely nothing. You have absolutely nothing to compare those two women when it comes to, Kate and Meghan. Those two women are at two different levels. And of course, that's going to stand out to people. You see what I'm saying? It will work for a while. Then after that, then people are like, wait a minute, what is going on? She's doing this, but she's not. Like, the woman was missing for almost a year before we know what happened to her. In the meantime, Meghan was working really hard. With everything we have come to know, this woman was supporting herself while she was behind that cage. And supporting her husband. And they tell her that, you know what, she needed to go back to whatever she was doing after they make her quit, allegedly. So what do you guys want? She's doing exactly what she's supposed to doing, working as she's always have done, and she never stopped, really. So I don't really understand the strategy. This is the kind of strategy probably would have worked maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, ancient time. This is a brand new world. And I don't know who's advising those people. It's like, let's burn the whole house down because we're not going to change. Because they could not ask for anything better and perfect than Meghan. Would have saved the whole institution, in my opinion. For the work that she's doing, would have made all of them look really good.
That's the truth.
And they could have just sit down for some of them doing absolutely nothing. Just show up and support Meghan and Harry. They would have looked good that way. Because again, I remember as pissed off as people was with Charles, that moment of him walking her halfway down the aisle, how people warm up to him for that gesture. So you see what I'm saying? And very early on, everybody was hopeful that, wow, those two girls, they're going to have a great relationship. They're going to be like sisters. They're going to be, little gossip here. Be careful with this one. Be careful with that one. So like we were almost, well, I don't want to say we, I'm going to speak for myself, that I thought that was the kind of relationship that they're going to have. Two women coming from two different places, and they're going to support one another, lean on each other for support. They will understand what each other are going through. What would it look like to see the two of them out there doing incredible things together? The so-called Fab Four. What a missed opportunity. The whole thing is just sad to me.
Yeah.
You guys are so sick. Nobody is saying anything. I've been talking like for hours. So I think I need my co-host to help me here.
Well, what I was waiting to add, because I didn't want to break you while you were on a roll, was from Avid Reader, the idea that when you think about the trying to make it make sense of why continuing to attack Meghan, and maybe one of the only ways that it can really maybe start to make sense, and even then it's only as like a short-term game that's still going to lose in the long run, is just as a distraction. Because Avid Reader added that Meghan's the ultimate distraction. You don't ask too many questions about the royal who had cancer, allegedly. You don't ask questions. Don't talk about Andrew. Don't talk about Andrew. Don't talk about homeless. Like, you just go focus on Meghan. And so using that as a distraction for everyone.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's so many. It's so complex. There's so many different things, because I have a feeling very early on, somehow they thought that they was going to come back. When they pull out the securities, when like somehow that they think that if we can squeeze them, they will be scared enough, they will have to come running back, and that didn't happen. And they keep squeezing. They keep doing everything. So let's damage them so nobody does any business with them. That didn't happen. Well, let's put on a lot of the pressure on Meghan, enough for her to say, you know what, I'm done with this. I want a divorce because I don't want to deal with that. That didn't happen. They trash and trash and trash and trash. I just feel like, and there seems they are losing, in my opinion. But it's almost like you want a growing up to say, come on, guys, it's really not making you guys look good. Yes, you can distract us all you want, but everybody can see what's happening. Everybody can report, can read those reports that have been out, even if it's for a short time. And let's talk about the people that who live, in England. They understand very clearly more than us over here what the royals are doing or not doing. But I guarantee you, every time that they're getting on the internet, they are watching and see what Harry and Meghan is doing, and then questioning and asking themselves, why are they not doing the same thing? We pay for them. And you have a group of people now who are just coming around and realizing that, they've been a part of a hate machine and not even realizing why they're hating on someone that they don't know. Because what that woman did was quite damaging. Royal Sussex was very sort of, was in a way, I was feeling with him. The fact that we felt like, hey, maybe that, somebody in the crew of Harry and Meghan need to come up and defend that. And I was with him with that. I'm like, yeah, because this is so damaging, so damaging. Then I started thinking, I'm actually happy that, People Magazine and the chef come out and say that, because have Harry and Meghan responding to what happened, then it would become the news about them. And then all of a sudden they will blame them for sort of remove the conversation about the fire, what people should be talking about, and talking about them. It's almost like they're looking for something. Somehow, maybe Meghan could be mad and upset and throw a tantrum to go and say, yes, that's who we've been waiting for. Because there's this idea that Black women, we are, I don't know, ghetto, or we are sort of, what's the word they all usually have for Black women again? I forgot. Angry, white, Black women. And, sort of, there is that thing. And they think if you could only continue pushing the button, maybe they will have the reaction they are looking for. And that hasn't been the case. Or if we can keep talking and people will start really sort of hating on them. But instead it's starting really, it's reversing. Maybe not sort of, as fast as I would like it to be. But I see some changes on people that, who are coming out defending them. You will normally never have seen them do that. And again, for the work that they are doing, the kind of charity work that they are doing, how effective they have been. Just recently, I was listening to Will Sussex, and who I think have saying so far, from the Sussex squad alone, we have raised almost $2 million, even over $2 million in charity. That is the effect of Harry and Meghan. Please find me another group that have done that or close to. And that just from the Sussex squad. That people who actually even people and sort of who defending her and the internet, whatever so have you, and not making any money because I think as Dre was said, there's no money defending, but and many of those folks don't really have it like that, but understand the work that they're doing, how important that it is.
I'm sure it's massively undercounted too.
Exactly. The effect in all fronts, from fashion, sold out every time that you wear anything at all. And if you can't afford what she's wearing, other businesses make money because people start searching to find things like what she's wearing as close as to it. So which means another company, somebody else, it's making money. So it's a win-win for a lot of those companies. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think the Royals could have really hide behind Harry and Meghan, let them do their things. And I don't think that would have changed anything about hierarchy or not, because we all get the point that, you know what, okay, Charles is king and Princess of Wales. What Harry's brother, what's his name again?
William.
He's the He's the next in line. This is everybody got that. So I don't think that would make any difference. And, sort of the conversation could have been like, what, isn't that great how much that, Harry and Meghan is supporting, sort of, Charles and supporting, like, I don't know. Since you guys don't have anything to say.
It seems like the title that you've chosen for this service might actually be a prelude to an upcoming dissertation of yours. The quantitative and qualitative analysis of the Harry and Meghan effect.
Oh my God. Yeah. Getting my doctorate degree on that. Oh my God. But anyway, so you know what? We're going to cut it short because you guys are not feeling really well, not talkative. You guys leave it to me to rant. And so, yes. So let's go to verse, Charles. Because
Sure.
I see you guys are dying and it's snowing outside.
We're surviving. We just gotta get that music. I will survive.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
The Bible verse for today is Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. So be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread for them. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you.
Wonderful. Amen. And you, Josh?
As the snow comes down on us here, as we continue to look out on the fires out in LA, challenges across the world, a new world awakening tomorrow, we pray for all of us to have strength, compassion, empathy, to be able to be there to take care of our own selves, but to take care of our families and our communities. That you give us the energy, the health, and the well-being, and the vitality to do that, to be in community, to live in love, and to remember that it is always more humane, it is always more human, it is always more in line with our inner nature to be walking in that path of love. As always, we pray for protection for the Sussexes, for the Duke and the Duchess, their children, Mama Doria, their security team, their entire team more broadly, and of course for the rest of the Sussex squad as well.
My goodness. My prayer, it's for mental health. We'll continue. It's a challenge for many of us, for all different types of stuff around us, the pressure, especially on black women, black men, white women now, white men, all of us have some sort of mental health issues. And I think it's time for us to not only talk about it, but really checking on each other and caring and taking care of one another. Because just before I come on, I was, sort of still doing my little research because I didn't know which way the show was going to go. And I've seen, many of the TikTokers was talking about Chris O'Donnell, one of a content creator. I believe that, he was about fitness and who have unlife himself. And it's appeared to be of mental health issues. And we are now about to be entering a new world tomorrow. And where we are being told it's going to get tough. It's going to get very difficult. And of course, all these things, all those uncertainties going to have its effect onto our mental health with everything we have to deal with. So it is my hope, my wish that we take care of one another, we check on one another, and we pray. But we also look for opportunities as well, because even in the darkness, there's always a little bit of light. So please, take care of one another. Take care of yourself. If you are not feeling well, there's no shame on those feelings. Call someone. Call the hotlines. Understand that, you know what? Tomorrow will be another day. The sun will shine. Always. Please take care of one another. And special thanks to Wild Sussex for an incredible job last night, this morning. I don't know how you do it. It filled me so much. And I take away a lot from the conversations. And I was very hopeful and very humbling by just being a part of this community. So I thank you guys. And I will see you guys, hopefully, if God willing, next Sunday. May God bless you all. Take care of one another. And please stay safe, stay warm. Good night, good day, love wins. Bye.